Happy Monday, family. It's me, Joseph. I'm out here doing my thing, loving on this earth. Look at this. Boogie Threads to hook me up with a custom fit. See them roses coming out that volcano Opele creation. Anyway, let me show you properly. Maybe you see that from this side, maybe the back, yeah. Hopefully you can see all that. Hopefully you can see all that. All that. Now, one thing I've learned, and I truly believe, and I can't unsee it, is, Pele is creation. Those Hawaiian islands, yeah. She rose from Tahiti. It's a fascinating story. And anyway, so about this earth. Creation is everywhere, yeah. It's very important that we show reverence to these things or learn how to connect in our own way. And I'm not saying there's going to be a million other ways that I learn how to love on this earth in different names. When they're presented, I'm going to do my best to honor and listen. And so I just got done picking up a whole bunch of trash out here. And as beautiful as it is, it's all you see is RV parks to come and recreate and poison the waters. You should have seen how much alcohol is just picked up from just right here. A whole full trash bag I left over here by a anyway, I'm not gonna complain. I'm here. I'm grateful that I got to pick it up, honestly. And grateful to know what not to teach our young adults. So, my reading today, since we're talking about the earth, Coatlicues, excuse my pronunciation, Coatlicues. So this is a statue, it's double-sided, yeah, so it looks like a monster, doesn't it? It's a naked, untrained, fearful eye, one who's not taught how to see, or who is separated from earth. So these two heads up here, there's two heads, not one. Yeah. So they're facing each other. They have a skirt of snakes. All this. So Coatlicues. So I'm gonna try and block that wind for you. So Coatlicues, we have her chilling. And this is represents creation. And what I was told is this is she gave birth to Coatlicues. Yeah. Coatlicues gave birth to Coatlicues. Now, what I've come to learn from these stories, as time goes on, consciousness is awakening in the newer generations, and all these things they buried her. People who are not with God, claiming to be with God, were afraid of one of God's creations. All of God's creation, the Most High, the One. So apparently they were not with God if they were afraid of one. Everything here is God's creation. Everything comes from the source. Now some things have become imbalanced, dysfunctional, or diseased, you know what I mean? And but they all come from the source. That's a true story. So people will run around the world with stolen sacred texts and teachings and burying other things out of fear while they're creating fear and death and disease. That is the most ungodly thing that you could possibly do while preaching love and God, right? So these people who were apparently so powerful and with God were afraid of God's creation, right? They lived in fear and infatuation of what they could steal and take. They didn't see with love, because love sees all. Infatuation makes us blind. Which is why when we live like this, we curse the land and future generations, which is unacceptable. So as these time goes on with these things that were buried, these truths that were buried, it's like a lot of these trash piles that are buried. They're gonna resurface for the children to clean up and learn the truth. You could put up monuments and try and bury things and destroy, but the consciousness is awakening in everything, in everyone. And so these things, it behooves of us to get on True Story ASAP, like yesterday. The days of lying and destroying the truth and indoctrinating and assimilating everything to make them think this is the way, it's not. Like, or it's all unfolding and it's time to participate in the awakening. And anyway, it's a beautiful story, the Coatlicues. We're coming from these backgrounds of who knows. But I just want to read you a first part of her because it's really intriguing, and I got a whole thing from a book. I printed it out. I get to pay pay the library, and they let me print some stuff there. So, and I'm really excited to get this whole book. So, I'm sorry for being stuck in the wind, kind of. No, this too shall pass. Grandmother, old grandmother. So, let me tell you just a brief thing of what I got from Coatlicues. Okay. So, excuse me. And this is what I was going to say on the, our business, they cooperative. If we're going to live in capitalism, we should read that Francis Whalen's Political Economy number. Just think about that. Cooperative capitalism based on morals and ethics. That is not human-centric, but cooperative capitalism, and based on morals and ethics, and leaders who don't serve their families or themselves, but they serve like the truth, like for everybody. That's what we need really for all life, and reconciliation of things, and building meaningful, long-standing relationships with all cultures, the spirit, God of creation, yes, of life, to be able to pass down and protect these relationships. We have to establish a foundation. It can't be built. You can't have a foundation built on lies and fear, and then try to change it into something that is honest. It just has to be created that. So there's a number one. I'll just read this couple notes that I have. So Coatl means serpent. Quetzal means feathered bird. Now that's Quetzalcoatl. That's the son. Huitzilopochtli is Coatli's son. Excuse me. Never mind. So Coatlicues, that's a different story. So Coatlicues is the fifth manifestation of the Divine Mother. And so Coatlicues, the fifth manifestation of the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother. I did a lot of praying this morning to Divine Mother, Kalima, and Mama Cacao, the Sacred Heart of this earth, the wisdom, yeah. And these songs I woke up with is, Parangui, he has this song, Tonantzen, and then Laboratorium Piesni has Saidado, and Abre de Corazon. Check them out. But I just felt compelled to come out here and spend some time. So this is the abstract from this book called Ancient Mesoamerica. It's written 1999, copyright 1999, Cambridge University Press by Elizabeth H. Boone. So this is just one part of that book, and this is the Coatlicues at Templo Mayor. So this statue right here, the colossal Coatlicue sculpture, has usually been interpreted and as a representation of the female supernatural Coatlicue, serpent her skirt. That's what her name means. So Coatl is the serpent, right? This is what I just said. So Coatlicue. That's well, anyway, serpents are her snake, right? Her skirt, who gave birth to Mexica patron deity Coatlicues, or it has been identified as the. Okay, let me just start. So the colossal statue Coatlicue sculpture has been interpreted as a representation of the female supernatural Coatlicue, serpents her skirt, who gave birth to the Mexica patron deity Coatlicues, or it has been identified as the cult figure. Excuse my enunciation on this. Number one, it's really small print. Number two, we have been not taught these languages intentionally, yeah. So I can't pronounce that name, but it's the woman serpent or the Earth Lord. So this paper offers an alternative reading of the monumental statue, one that recognizes the existence of at least nearly identical Coatlicues, and thus recontextualizes the monument as one of a larger set. The iconography of these great stone females points to the identity of Tsitsi Mime, celestial demons who were understood to descend to devour mankind if the sun were to fail. According to Mexica chroniclers, a cadre of these fearsome monoliths dominated the sculpture program at Templo Mayor. And so from the story I got of Coatlicue, it represented the Divine Mother. And when the Spaniards and conquistadors came over, the devotion for this was so strong and for the people that they buried it. And then some Franciscan priests, I believe, or conquistadors, they came over, and that's when they were colonizing Spain, colonizing Central America. And they were terrified because of the devotion that people had to this. And so what they did is they buried it upside down, head down. They buried this, and they thought it was a monster, a fearsome monster. These supposed men with God, afraid of God's creation, because they weren't taught to see. They were not taught to see with spiritual and loving eyes. They were taught to live in fear, and they were taught that serpents were evil, not knowing that serpents are, shedding skins inside. They represent life, the earth, serpents are not in everything in Christianity. It's about slaying the dragon and killing the serpent. It's not about understanding. It's not about life. It's not about harmony or creation. And so instead of killing these dragons, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. Enough said. So how do you live with? Well, it looks like you must become godly, right? Born in the image and likeness, male and female, masculine and feminine, nature and cosmic, yeah, and this earth, starborn, yeah. Anyway, there's no fear in that. If you have to destroy someone else's culture in order for you to be significant, you probably have a lot of inner work to do, and a lot of understanding of yourself and purpose and how things are meant to elevate. If you must suppress another culture, belief, person in order for you and your beliefs to prosper, that's not true. It's not truth. It's a lie. It's not godly. It's like Father Thomas Hopko says, God doesn't rule. If God is to exercise dominion over all the cosmos and loving, has dominion over all of creation. It does so in exercising in loving kindness. So should his creatures do the same, to exercise dominion in loving kindness. Yeah. That said, I think spirituality is extremely important because religion separates us from one another. I think religion is very important, especially for those who have gone off track. But destroying and destructing and burying and having these short illusions is crazy. But the cool thing is like these stories that about these old monoliths and the truth of like what is. Like they're waking up, and like just like this paper has a new understanding of what this is. Like this isn't just. There's so much going on in this statue right here, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. But at first glance, you could see. Of course, if I was taught that everything in nature is terrible, or snakes are terrible, look at this. But if you were taught. If you were a part of nature and not separate from it, from the things that give us life, if you were a part of it, you would understand. Or maybe you look at it with curiosity and different eyes instead of fear. But when you look at things in fear instead of curiosity, you want to destroy it to keep yourself or people safe, or you want to control it because you live in fear instead of, oh, like this looks like something I've seen in nature and I'm a part of nature. It's a part of me. Not being taught that is, what does it say? Avoiding your fears or weakness is a recipe for incapacity and error. To educate ourselves with the consciousness that is waking up from people, and I think it's important. But it just really hits me today a little bit. The world doesn't need a business. This earth doesn't need your children don't need a business. They need a world to live in and to create in. They need truth to stand on a solid foundation to create. They have an opportunity that we don't have. We don't have the luxury of starting fresh, but we could definitely set up some examples of how to live and see the world where they could, and that's very important. We weren't given the luxury of having a clean slate. We get to clean up all the messes, yeah. But someone has to stop kicking the fucking can down the road for these children, for this earth, for nature. Someone has to stop kicking the can, like truly. And it's okay. Well, then what will give them the best chance to survive? By giving the truth, showing you that these things are not important. This alcohol is terrible for you. It doesn't do anything good for your cells. It doesn't do anything good. It distorts your sense of reality, and it distorts your connection to nature. Truly, these poisons, these numbing agents, our lack of communication from other people around the world or from each other, our neighbors, and understanding of how we could. People are so obsessed with ascension and alchemy and all these things. And look at the ground. Stop looking up. Look at the ground. Humble ourselves. Like, hold on, what are we doing? I don't know. It doesn't sit with me the right way. I just don't believe it. I don't believe this is the best we could do. I don't believe that this is the best that any living being can hand off to the next generation. Is abuse, and toxicity, and delusions, and I don't know. But anyway, it just makes me think like the consciousness of these things that people saw with certain eyes. Now there's a consciousness waking up. I don't think it's just humanity. I think nature's waking up and seeing us with different eyes too. I think the cosmos is waking up and seeing us with different eyes too. I think it's just the way it is. And so maybe this business-centric, human-centric way of living need not be, because it's not successful. It's not like it's not productive. It's very destructive, and there's definitely different ways to do things. But it's time for us to be good, like virtuous, I guess you say. I don't know. Just think a little bit. Like, why am I doing this, and who taught me how to do this, and what are they like? Are they whole? Are they complete? They just, I don't know. Like, who? Consider the source. And so as I consider the source, I try to be like the source, just abundant in love and just creation, yeah? And try to return to that. How can I be that consciousness? And how can I return back to it in the most pure way? And how can we send ripples through this fabric of creation that change, and alter the direction and trajectory. If everyone is so super and everyone is so intelligent, why are we still doing these things? Why are we producing toxicity? It's not intelligent. There's no payoff. So why are we doing it? It doesn't make sense. And I don't know, I'm just here to live in peace with this earth and all my relationships that come from life and creation. And as I learn to do that, it just, I don't know. Everything that's in an office or in a building or in a outside of this environment that we live in that sustains life, governs this life. It doesn't make sense. That's what people think. This world out here governs us. And I don't care how many hocus pocus, dark witchcraft spells people throw at me and poison my food and all this other shit that they do. I'm governed by God and creation, the Mother and the Father, the Most High Mother and Father God. Yeah? And so are you, whether you like it or not. You can rebel and do all this stuff and curse your family and lineage and all these things by doing bad things to people and people who are trying to help. But you know what? Like, we're all governed by the same creation, and it's laws of creation. They don't skip by anybody, so, but they will. You either leave yourself, generations and creation, those next coming up to bat. You leave them set up for success or cleaning up curses that they were born with because of selfish greed and unhealed traumas and whatever, hate and fears and all these things. I don't know. I'm not afraid of none of that, but stand in truth, live in love, learn to connect with things that are meaningful and beautiful. And consider the source. Love, the biggest act of love is consideration. Consider the source. Consider it. Anyway, I love you very much. Be well. Big blessings. It's a little chilly out here, so I'm gonna go and go pick up some more trash or something, yeah? I love you, truly.